St. Peter and St. Paul died as martyrs in the city of Rome. Peter was crucified on a cross upside down. St. Paul, however, was beheaded. He was beheaded by a sword in a place that is now referred to as Tre Fontane. Legend has it that as he was beheaded, his head bounced or rolled 3 times. And as it did, springs of water gushed forth out of the ground. His body was then taken a few miles away and buried in a cemetery. When Christianity was legalized, ultimately they built a church over this place. And this church is now known as St. Paul's outside the walls. Outside of what walls? The walls of Rome. Originally it was outside of the actual city of Rome. Today, of course, it is, as Rome has grown, it is no longer outside the walls of Rome, but it has retained its name. St. Paul's outside the walls is an absolutely magnificent church. It has over 80 columns in it. It's 432 feet long. And of course, one of the great famous things about it is the portraits of every single pope that line the exterior perimeter of the church. We also have the sarcophagus that St. Paul himself is buried in. In 2006, after 4 years of archaeological work, they went underneath the Basilica and dug and actually confirmed that the body of St. Paul is buried in this most sacred place. Also directly above the tomb of St. Paul are chains that he was held in when he was held a prisoner here in the great city of Rome. This great basilica, now currently under the care and the guidance of some very, very good and holy Benedictines, is a place of tremendous prayer. St. Paul, the great preacher of the faith, St. Paul, the great convert, who went from hating Christianity to loving our Lord Jesus Christ, is a tremendous intercessory for all of us, to remind us all that we're called to conversion, to remind us all that conversion is possible for all, to remind us that we should never lose faith and never lose hope. What a great place for us to pray as when we are in pilgrimage in Rome at the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls.